A very warm welcome to this episode, dear listeners. Talking with Israel and Palestine. Currently, we're sitting in the car and we are driving to Hebron in the West Bank. And on the car, on the driver's seat, sits Nadav Weiman. So I would like to introduce you real quick. Nadav, you are the executive director of Breaking the Silence, an organization of Israeli army veterans who speak openly about the reality of the Israeli military occupation. You served as a sniper in the IDF, deployed in the West Bank during the Second Intifada. And after your military service, you chose to speak out, becoming a leading voice, exposing the abuses committed by Israeli forces and advocating for an end to the occupation. So, again, thank you very much for joining us in the podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy, of course.
Yeah, I also read the study or the report that you published on Gaza and the establishment of the puffer, the so-called puffer zone, and I was wondering a little bit. I mean, that's also the critiques are saying, like, you are coming up with testimonies. How do you encounter those allegations?
It's constant bombing, constant firing, constant witnessing death and destruction. One of the things that they're talking about a lot is smell, the stench of rotten bodies everywhere, and total destruction. One of our testifiers called Gaza Hiroshima.
I was wondering if you say there's so much thirst after these facts within the Israeli society, it seems like a cognitive dissonance somehow, right? So not enough people are going on the streets and protest not only against the war and bringing home all the hostages, but also to stop starving the civilians in Gaza and also let them live like humans.
I think our crazy government is doing everything in its power to suppress the media, to suppress the left wing, to pass laws against civil society actors, us, the human rights organization, because they understand that the minute there would be a conversation, the minute people will really speak about what we're doing, that's it for them, right?
But before you, and that's interesting because you're speaking about understanding your role of a political activist, because you've spoken publicly about your time as a sniper in the IDF. So you attended military service, and what led you to break the silence and speak out on it?
You know, I grew up in a left-wing liberal family. And my two older brothers served in the special forces, and my father was a deputy battalion commander, and my grandfather was a major in the British Army, and he fought in Italy and in Egypt and in the Second World War, and then he was a general in the IDF in 1948. So I come from a very military family, and for me, you know, the first time I crossed the green line after finished training in the special forces, and experiencing reality and understanding what really is the Israeli military occupation, that was like a slap in the face. We have ministers that are talking about genocide, right? We have ministers saying there isn't any innocent in Gaza. We have ministers saying that we have no problem to kill kids and babies in Gaza, which is crazy. And it's the same minister, Bezalel Smotrich, Itamar Ben-Gvir, Orit Struk, the same ministers are sitting in the war cabinet.
What do you think about this? Is it a myth that the IDF kills innocent civilians?
I remember when I was a soldier, and you really believe that you're defending Israel and you're fighting terror. And we did endless amount of operations in the West Bank, and I fought in Gaza in 2008, and I fought in Gaza again in 2012. And you really believe you fight terror. But after a certain time, you understand that you're doing different things, but you find justifications. Say, okay. I don't really understand this operation, why I'm doing this, but I'm a part of something bigger. Maybe we need to pressure that family, maybe that would smoke out a terrorist from a tunnel, maybe I don't know what. So you give yourself justifications. And when I was sent with my team to Gaza for the first time in 2008, I told myself, okay, West Bank I can understand, but why Gaza?
So Nadav, thank you for showing us around Hebron. Thank you for your time. Good luck for your work as the director of Breaking the Silence. And yeah, it was very, very interesting to see how, what is happening in the city, because we hear so much about the West Bank, about the occupied Palestinian territories, and it was very insightful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me on your show. And I think it's so important that people from around the world, Germany and all around the world, will really understand what's going on over here. Not a smokescreen of security, what we're saying to the international community. And I think it's super important that people like you decides to open their eyes and hearts for stories of soldiers from the ground.